Hey, this is Robert. In case you don't know, I'm the founder of InboundREM. I'm also probably one of the most experienced real estate online marketing consultants in the US. Been doing it for 15 years, and I've used almost every single marketing system that is out there. And I'm also pretty proficient at search engine optimization, among many other things. If you just check out my channel, you'll quickly discover that I create a lot of content trying to try to make the decision about what kind of platform that you use easier for you. All right. And coming from a view of expertise that you yourself may not have. So, right now, today, we're going to be looking at Real Geeks. Real Geeks is fairly inexpensive in the world of real estate marketing. If you haven't seen my original review, like done in 2017 or 2018, you should. Still stands. I think I compared Real Geeks maybe to Easy Agent Pro or Playster or something like that. And I've never updated the review. The reason is pretty simple. Somewhere in 2019, the company sold itself to Fidelity National Mortgage. Jeff, the founder of the company who brought most of the value to the platform, left. He spent about another year after he sold the company doing updating their YouTube channel and things like that. And then they moved the company over to some other leadership and content structure. The platform it's a solid, inexpensive website to get started with real estate lead generation if you are trying to do paid search marketing. It's never been a great platform for SEO. Its value for SEO has declined over the years. An example of why it's not good for SEO can be found on the Real Geeks homepage, their own website. When you look at their blog, some of the blog posts look pretty janky. That is because, like this, the images, there's not a proper video, like image editor in here, and you keep looking at it over and over again. It looks like weird encapsulated images, which doesn't make you want to click on the thumbnail, which doesn't want to make you read the blog post. And honestly, you're not missing much. I just spent a few hours going through their blog trying to find out where the value might be. And the only thing I can say is that maybe if you're a super, super, super beginning agent and you're looking for somebody to do things like remind you, hey, you should follow up with your leads on a regular basis. If you need that, they say that here in plentitude. Other than that, the information is extremely basic. There's nothing unique in here that I could find that would be interesting to even uh, like a medium, like a medium experienced digital marketer that is doing real estate. Real Geeks avoids almost all value with Google except for paid advertising. So all the things that you might want is it's focused on Facebook and other platforms which have been getting drubbed. I've never been a fan of them. And the reason I haven't been a fan of these big platforms is my belief in marketing is that at a minimum, the marketing companies' interests must line up with their customers. Facebook hasn't been doing that in a long time. Google does that not perfectly, but better than most other services that you could look at. Um, Even Apple does a better job, and Amazon does a better job with lining up their service with their users' interests. So Facebook is just contrary. You're going to take your information, use it maliciously. Nobody ultimately is very happy. They've been paying that price for a long, long time, and until they figure out a way to be more aligned with the user base inside their ecosphere, Facebook is going to continue to not be a great place to live, though it does have some uses in the marketing world. All right, having said all that, let's dive into it. I haven't updated since 2018. Why? Well, when you look at the update and change log, which by the way, Real Geeks is better than any other company that's out there. So first, let me start off with something really positive. Real Geeks is really, really proactive about like tracking their change logs. Okay, so what they do is they actually have, hold on, change log. And you can find that on the Real Geeks product updates and change log, then product updates change log. Okay, you also occasionally find updates posted on their blog. What do I do in these reviews? I've gone through and read 3 years of this for you. It is hundreds and hundreds of changes that I've just combed through. What I can tell you is that Real Geeks is starting to treat video differently. That's good. You can send it out through the platform. That's good. Most of what they are calling product improvements are really extremely minor, extremely small adjustments that are probably being done for some of their really established users. Then they publish it as a product update, and then the very small handful of people that might be experiencing the same problem and view something that was suggested as a change request as a solution would then feel like the platform had been improved. It could be that it would be improved. The CRM has never been top in class, but then again, it's also much less expensive than other CRMs. So this one is going to cost you about $240 the last time I checked per month. Compare that to KV Core at 500, a Boomtown at 800 to 1500, Sync at 1000, Ylopo at 600, Chime at 500. It makes it one of the least expensive CRMs on the market. Now, if you're looking at it through the lens of affordability, then Real Geeks has the market cornered. If you're looking at it for usability, they're about an 8 out of a 10 because it is a fairly simple, straightforward platform. They've never done a great job at communicating messages to the world at large. There still, as far as I know, might just be some links to this very same changelog and service request. When you buy a Real Geeks website, you get a book of a PDF basically of like 30 things that you have to read. Real Geeks is not an easy system to set up. It's not an easy system to engage necessarily. It's not intuitive, but it is cheap and it can be effective in the hands of a dedicated marketer. Um, my I could go through the hundreds of changes that they've done, but they're all very small. Like they have a huge section, I think it's about 6 months ago, where they added in integrations to like Broker Mint and a few other things. So if you're already using Real Geeks, then these become important things. But if you're looking at a system from fresh, from the gate, and you think you have the need for integrations, then Follow Up Boss is 100% your CRM. You're going to leave Real Geeks alone. Follow Up Boss has 200 native integrations. Real Geeks might have 10 or 15. Like Boomtown has like 10. And integrations give your system more flexibility. For those that may not understand what's at stake, if you had specific needs that fall outside the functionality of your CRM, you would plug something else into it to get additional functionality and have all the systems talk together. And native integration means that there is already a conduit between one system and another so that the information is communicated seamlessly. There's also a third-party service called Zapier that does these third-party integrations and communications seamlessly. They build pipelines from system to system for a living, for a primary business functionality. So, having said that, my overall thought about Real Geeks, I think that when I did the original review back in 2017, I probably gave them a 7 of 10. These days, because they haven't kept up with the mobile revolution, they haven't kept up with the content revolution, they haven't kept up with most things. Their YouTube channel has decreased in value ever since Jeff left. Their content creators that they have on the website, while I haven't really followed all of them enough to say this beyond a shadow of a doubt, I can say that what I was hearing on the podcasts and the blog posts I read was extremely minor, was basically covering things that every other trainer covers, and like Tom Ferry and most of the guys like Tom, they have the ability to bring more value to you in terms of content creation because of their experience, their dedication, who they can get as guests, what these people have to say, so on and so forth. Seth Price, Tyler, Zay, these guys are legendary content creators that brought a lot of value to their platforms. Jeff was too. He really did a lot. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to check their YouTube channel real quick, and we're going to wrap this review up. Okay, so back in the day, Jeff used to do all sorts of online content, like twice a week, I think is what his publishing schedule was. He did these masterminds, and he did reviews of people using the Real Geeks platform, and these sessions were epic. They provided so much value. They were epic because Jeff was a servant leader. He long since has sold and cashed out, and I think, as far as I know, he just went back to being a broker and selling real estate on Hawaii, which is ultimately, I think, what his mission and purpose is. Um, so uh, other than that, do I see, like, I have no idea. I haven't gone through here, and I'm going to be honest with all of y'all. I'm not going to. So far as yet, the 5 or 10 hits that I've attempted to do into Real Geeks content ever since Jeff left have all been not worth the time. So whether or not that ends up being the case, I'm sure that there's something or somebody in here that's gold. But to say that the vast majority of what they're producing on the channel is useful, I would say not really, not unless you're in a very early stages of your career. However, the content that Jeff put on here 7 years ago is still some of the best stuff that you're going to find on digital marketing. It may or may not be outdated. I don't know, but you should check it out. And you can see that other people have all those old Jeff videos have 6, 7,000 views, stuff like that. So um, I really appreciated him, and I'm sure that many of you would as well. All right, so having said that, my current score for Real Geeks is about a 5 of 10, which I think is the direction I was heading in when I was wrapping up this video. 5 of 10. All right, low value system, low cost, probably low future probabilities, um, low production expectations, but it's inexpensive. And if you're new to digital marketing and you're just looking for something to play around with, and you don't want to spend, as you know, 10, 15, 20, $30,000, which almost all the big platforms will get up to be that much throughout the contract range, then this is a great place. Start here, maybe. I mean, there might be other better options, but this is certainly a option. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this Real Geeks review. Listen, I put a lot of one-of-a-kind content that I don't put on my blog on my YouTube channel. So if you're curious to know what a highly experienced real estate online marketing marketer thinks about the direction of digital lead generation, teaches a little bit about how you should be doing your hyperlocal, things like that, then you should subscribe to your channel. If you watched this video and you weren't all that impressed, hey, don't do it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Ciao.